You know, one of the most overlooked concepts in retirement planning for couples, it has to do with long-term care. So I want to give you 3 things to consider for your own long-term care planning. The first one is really kind of practical and has to do with a house that you live in and whether or not you can be maintained. Most of the people that we meet would prefer to age in place. They want the lowest level of institutionalization. They want to think about leaving the house simply because they need care on a regular basis. So you want to think, are you on a single floor? Do you have rooms for aides to live with you? Are you in a situation that you can continue to age in place so that if you need additional care, be either because your spouse has passed away or just isn't capable of maintaining you, that you have basically the space to do that? The second thing that you want to consider is, where are you going to get the extra money from? See, when you enter in with retirement planning, you're often focused on your budget in retirement as though it's just your normal budget as you're living. But one of the things about long-term care is that these expenses can actually grow over time. If you're going to bring somebody to your house, that might be $200 or $250 a day, or if you need care in a facility, you might be looking at 5 figures or more. And that's going to take a serious bite into your overall budget. It's probably nothing that you were pre-planning for. So now that you're thinking about it as part of something that would be extra in your budget, where is it going to come from? And we found that there's really 2 ways that people can solve that. They can either solve it using financial planning tools, using thinking about long-term care policies, things like that, or they can do it with legal planning strategies, and those will often involve trusts and gifting in order to be able to qualify for other benefits. So you can either go one of those routes, but funding your long-term care is that consideration. And the third thing that you want to think about is, where specifically are you going to be able to receive that care? There's a spectrum of different kind of care that is provided, whether we're talking about people that are going to be in your home, or if you're going to move into an assisted living facility, a continuing care retirement community, or even a nursing home. You want to be able to think ahead of time about what's going to be a great match for you. And this is often one of those things that people don't think about ahead of time, which is sort of interviewing and thinking about these places. But more importantly, communicating their preferences to the people that are going to be helping them out in the end. It's been my experience that people will just meet the expectations that have been spoken, but a lot of people don't speak the expectations that they want. So if you want to age in place, that's a conversation that you're going to want to have with your family so they know exactly what to provide for you. If you want to think about a particular kind of facility, you want to talk to them about that as well. So as you're thinking about planning for retirement, specifically long-term care, and what's going to happen after one spouse passing away, I want you to remember 3 things. The first thing is, what kind of home are you going to be in? Is it capable of aging in place? The second is, how are you going to fund and pay for the long-term care that you need? And the third thing is, what kind of long-term care do you want? And say that to the family around you that might be making decisions if you become incapacitated. Listen, don't overlook long-term care planning. I can't tell you whether or not you're going to fall into a category of needing it or not, but I can tell you that if you do this kind of planning, you're going to have an outcome that's much better than if you fail to plan at all.